I get people reaching out to me every day asking about the Manifesting Hub Academy and how they can begin the process of changing their lives, or if they've already started the process, then they're in another growth spurt and they're wanting to work with me. But here's one thing, and this is quite ironic really. They're wanting to change. They want their external world to shift. They want to receive more abundance. They want to experience something different. They have a different preference to how life is being. But there's a huge resistance to change at the same time. It's quite paradoxical. I want to change, Suze. I want to experience something different. But there's this inner pull not to change, to stay in lack, to stay in fear, to stay in the current level of abundance that they're in right now. And when I start talking about how the change has to come from within before you will see a change externally, there's that huge resistance. And I believe it comes down to trusting yourself. I believe it comes down to worthiness. Because if you truly believed that you had it within you, you truly believed that you were worthy of receiving change by just changing your mindset. If we think of the law of cause and effect, if the cause is your thinking, then the effect is going to be from that. And this is something that I often say to potential clients. Think of the law of cause and effect. Because that's one of the strongest laws. That's one of the ones that if I was to coach you on anything, it has to be about the law of cause and effect. I would probably say this at the start of my journey with you, because when you can understand that it's the cause is your thinking, your self-concept, and the effect is what you are experiencing, that in itself can be a game changer, because then you can start to really understand the effects of your thinking. But change, it's like they'll reach out and I'm like, okay, what we need to do is look at your self-concept. We need to understand where you're at just now. We need to look at our consciousness, look at the ego. We'll start to understand. And I explain that to get permanent change and to start manifesting without lifting a finger, the only thing that needs to be done is to work on you. And people get quite, that's when all the reservations come up. That's when all of the, I get a lot of the backstory. Yeah, I hear you, Suze, but this happened to me, but this happened to me, but this happened to me. And it's quite strange. And this is something I've noticed within me, that when people start saying, I know because I've had this or I've had that and I'm not able to because, this happened to me when I was that age, etc. And they start saying, and it's like, for me, I'm just like, gosh, I don't think like that anymore, which means that I have embodied what I'm coaching. Because I very, 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 very rarely will say, I can't do that because of my past and an incident that's happened in my past. It's something that I'm very proud of that I have done, is that my past is my past and it stays where it is. It's not to say that I don't think of it, but I don't embody the past anymore. I don't live in the past. So this is where we start hearing their history. And it's like, I say this with pure and utter love. It's an excuse not to jump in. It's an excuse not to do the work. And they're saying that they're not worthy of receiving more because of what's happened to them in their past. And that in itself is something that we work on hugely to overcome, because we are spiritual beings in this vessel experiencing this human life. And once we can understand and fully embody that you are a spiritual being and it's got bugger all to do with what happened to you as a human, what you can achieve, then we start seeing shifts. I use holotropic breathwork to do that shift, just because it's quite weird, it's quite woo-woo, and It's an absolute pleasure to take people through such a powerful, powerful transformation using their breath. And the other thing that I point out to people is, yes, we're going to ask you, you're going to experience something different, but that's what you're looking for. Change isn't easy. To experience change will require you to feel sensations that you've not felt before, but that's called change. So people want to experience change, but they don't want to experience change. Blows my mind. But I understand it because it's not easy and it takes so much strength and so much courage and vulnerability to create that change. Because not only are you working against yourself at times, you're also working against your friends and family. You're also starting to have different belief systems than the majority of the population. So it takes a strength and a courage and a determination to push past that. So I say everything that I've said with complete and utter love and respect, because change is something that the majority of us desire, but the minority of us will actually achieve. Because of that, because of the level of determination, strength and courage that it takes. And not everybody is aware of what it does take. And not everybody will be open to putting themselves through that experience.